This film is firstly about the network behaviors displayed by 4 different firms. The research presented is mainly based on desk research, but also comments from some of these firms are used to enlarge the company descriptions. The analysis of these firms led to a new formulated research question, which is answered by means of a more in-depth literature review. First, the 4 companies will be presented.
The first film we chose as a basis for further research is Club Hemingway. Club Hemingway is a bar that hosts events targeted at international students, but anyone looking for a great night out is welcome here.
The manager at Club Hemingway describes its communication with networks as intensive, such as intensive contact with the management of a DJ, Heineken, and students for arranging, supplying events. While the level of communication with networks should be sufficient but not too high, as they can work against you. We call this an inverted U-shaped relationship.
The second company operating in the hospitality industry is Imono Sushi. In 2016, there's research done about the networking behavior of Imono Sushi. It was hypothesized that formal networks and the frequency of communication with those networks would have a positive effect on financial performance. This positive effect is found for formal networks. However, this effect is not found for the frequency of using those networks.
The next company film that we chose is that of BioITech. BioITech is a company that enables laboratories to improve efficiency and quality of research. They do this by providing comprehensive and flexible lab information management software. It is characterized by a flat organizational structure, a participative approach for strategic decision-making, including a division into functional business units. In the film, it was hypothesized that a broader network range and a lower network intensity were positively related to the firm's performance. Both were confirmed. During the increase of their network range, the network intensity decreased.
The second company working in the software and consultancy industry is SumAim. This is a project agency and consulting firm. They are part of the Entrance, the Expertise Energy Center. Entrance helps SumAim with building a large network involving sustainability. In the study done in 2019, it is investigated if interpersonal networks, inter-organizational networks, and intra-organizational networks all have a positive effect on firm performance. These positive relationships were indeed found.
The research done about the 4 companies is focused on networking behavior especially. The relationship between firm survival and network intensity is something that is not yet further investigated. Existing theory, like that of Watson's article in 2007, claims that a high level of network intensity is important for firm survival. This is further researched in additional literature review. Most of the findings from the studies are in line with the theoretical framework. However, some important findings are not in line with the theory. First, when looking at the findings from Imono Sushi, the positive relationship between network intensity and firm performance is not confirmed. Secondly, in the analysis of BioITech, the negative relationship between network intensity and firm performance is confirmed. This is not in line with the literature, which can be possibly explained by the assumption that these companies are still in the survival phase, even though they're not. However, because this assumption is about one firm, it is interesting to investigate further how network intensity acts as a moderator for the relationship between formal networks and firm survival. This brings us to our new research question, which is, do formal networks have a positive effect on firm survival of small and medium-sized enterprises, especially when network intensity is high? Formal networks here include, for example, external accountants, Network intensity is defined as the frequency with which entrepreneurs are using their networks, and firm survival is the ability of a firm to survive the first years of existence. Taking all this research studies together, it is essential that entrepreneurial firms focus on firm survival in the first place. By focusing on short term first, their likelihood of prospering in the long term increases. Watson states that a high level of network intensity is important for firm survival. He mentions that seeking advice from formal relationships is critical in order to survive, rather than using informal network and informal relationships. Based on a literature review, some confirmation for this new research question is found. There's found some evidence that network intensity has a positive moderating effect on the relationship between formal networks and firm survival.